Welcome to another AIS video lecture. In today's lecture, we are going to look at the Vlookup function. Vlookup is part of the lookup function that Excel has. And Vlookup is the most commonly used. It is useful when there's a huge amount of data and you want Excel to retrieve the data from a table. It can also be useful when you have many conditional logic options, and it allows a simpler handling than using if function. The formula for Vlookup is this. I'm going to go over this in more detail. The syntax for Vlookup is Vlookup value, table, column number, and type. In the first parameter, value is the ID, or the value that Excel used to refer to the table, to the database. The second parameter is the location of the table. So we need to tell Excel where our database or table is located. The third parameter, column number, refers to which column Excel needs to return the value. All right, if it's in the value you want to return is in the fourth column, you specify number 4. If it is in the second column, you specify number 2. Type refers to whether you want Excel to have approximate matching or exact matching. We're going to go over cases where we have these two types, exact and approximate. Let's do exact matching first. We're going to do an exercise and we're going to illustrate the exact matching using this exercise. We have this case. We need to draw a Vlookup table and write Vlookup formula to show the student emails when student IDs are entered. The student IDs, first name, last name, email are given below here. First, we need to set up the lookup table, right? The database table. Next, we need to enter the Vlookup formula in our model. This is our model. Students enter the ID here, or we enter the ID here, and the email is displayed here at C14. All right. First, we need to enter the student details. We need to enter the student ID. All right. Firstly, I have to do the heading first. Now, once I finish entering the lookup table, the next thing I need to do is entering the Vlookup formula. The Vlookup formula, as you can recall, is Vlookup value or the ID that you want to look at, the table location, which column, and whether you want exact or approximate matching. So let's enter the formula here. We enter the formula at C14 and it will refer to the student ID that you type in at B14. So Vlookup value will refer to the B14. This is the ID that Excel will use to look at the table from A3 to D10. The table location is located at A3 to D10. And the location, which column Excel needs to return? Excel needs to return the fourth column. So column 1, column 2, column 3, and column 4. So it's the fourth column that Excel needs to return. And it needs to be exact matching. So we need to enter false for exact matching. Let's enter. All right. Since there's no ID available, Excel will display an error message. So let's try this out. Let's try, let's say 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, 7. It should display the email of Rover. Let's try Alex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it should display the email of Alex. Now, you can play around with the formula. So suppose instead of column 4, let's return column 3. Then it will display the last name, because this is the third column of this 4-column table. All right. If you type in 2, it will return the first name. Since we want the email, we want Excel to return the fourth name. Now, let us look at the approximate matching example. In this exercise again, we are going to draw a VLOOKUP table and write the VLOOKUP formula to show the grades of Monash students when their marks are entered. Now, when students have marks between 0 to 49, then they have a grade of N. When they have 50 to 59, grade of P. 60 to 69, grade of C. 70 to 79, D. 80 to 100, HD. We need to follow the 2 steps again. In the first step, we need to set up the lookup table. But this time, we must make sure in the first column, the values must be sorted in ascending order, because we are using approximate matching. In step 2, again, we need to enter the VLOOKUP formula. This is the model that we are going to answer or do the exercise. So students, these are the student names and their marks, and we have to automatically show the grade of students when their marks are entered. Now we need to do our first step first. So we need to enter their marks and grade table so that Excel can refer to this table. So marks, grade, we do the heading so that other people can understand what our lookup table is about. Now, if students get 0 to 49, they have a grade of N. So we need to enter a value in the first column. So the lowest amount of mark a student can get is 0. So we are entering actually the lower bound when Excel search for the marks. So if a mark of 0 student gets, they'll get a grade of N. Next, we enter the P grade. In a P grade, student needs to get a minimum of 50 to get a P grade. This is, again, the lower bound. Excel will automatically put a range from 0 to 49 as an N grade. And anything 50 and above will be P. All right. So the next grade is 60. C. Next grade 70 is a D. And the lowest bound grade for HD is 80. Once we finish entering the table, we have to enter the VLOOKUP formula. Again, as you can recall, the VLOOKUP formula has these parameters. So VLOOKUP value that you want to refer, the table location, and which column do you want Excel to return the value, and whether it's exact or approximate matching. Here, VLOOKUP, we want to refer to the marks, which is at B11. The table location is at A3 to B7. Because we are going to copy down the formula, we need to lock the table location, the cell references in the table location, so that it doesn't change as we copy down. We want to return the second column, which is the grade column, and it's approximate matching, so it's a true. So we can select true, or we can type true. Now I'm going to just copy down, go to the edge of the box, copy down, and you'll get the grades. So now it will automatically change when you enter the mark. So if Bart gets 66, it will be a credit. If he gets 44, it will be a fail. And this true option is optional. If you leave it blank like this, Excel will set to default, which is the true option, right? So you can have an option of leaving it the last parameter as blank, or you can type it approximate. I suggest choosing the option approximate, so it actually tells you what the formula, whether it's a approximate matching or the exact matching. So it's more clear in that way. Now you can play around with the formula. So if you can choose, for example, you can say exact matching and see what will happen. You'll find that Excel will put error 44 because there's no value 44. If you use exact matching false, then Excel will say there's no 44, so it gives you an error. If you put 50, it will give you a pass. This is the end of the video. Please go and try the VLOOKUP exercise in your tutorial, and then compare your answers with the ones given by your tutor. If you have any questions, please ask your tutor.